So we all know that there is messaging that we get when we were young as it relates to money. But my question for you today is, what is the messaging that you got when you were young that had nothing to do with money but is impacting your ability to earn right now? That's what we're going to get into today. It's a super juicy episode. So let's not waste any more time. Let's friggin' get into it. Welcome to the Manifesting Millions podcast, where we explore the mindset shifts, energetic upgrades, and practical strategies that support you in becoming the woman who creates what she desires with confidence and clarity. I'm Amy Diamond, and I help high-performing women like you move beyond shame, guilt, and struggle so that you can step into deeper wealth, confidence, and a life that feels delicious inside and out. If you've ever sensed you are meant for more and you're ready to create it, this is your place. It's time to move beyond the vision board, babe, and become the catalyst for true transformation. You're about to step into something really powerful. I'm so glad you're here. Hello, my loves, and welcome back to the Manifesting Millions podcast. I'm always delighted to have you here with me, so thank you for pressing play. Thanks for being here with me. Okay, we're going to get into it today, all right? So today, if you're listening to this when it comes out, should be July 7th. I feel like that's correct. Possibly July 8th, who knows? Anyway, doesn't matter. What I want you to be aware of is that we are only a few weeks away from the Money Magic Workshop. And I talked about it a lot in the last episode. There is some really, really, really good stuff coming for you inside the workshop. If you are not yet signed up, for the love of all things holy, get yourself into the workshop. I promise you, you will be so thankful that you did. And what I'm going to share with you inside Money Magic, you're going to be like, why the F didn't anybody tell me this like 25 years ago? And I'm with you. And also, girl, I'm sorry. I been integrating the lessons and doing the research and really just living my great life experimenter self in the best possible way so that I could get all this stuff together for you in your hands. What I want to talk about today is an element that we're going to touch on inside the workshop. And that is messaging that we hear when we are young. Now, let me just front this by saying, if you have done any money work in your life, okay, like you've attended any workshop, downloaded any guide, listened to any podcast, done anything like that, you will have been asked about the things that your parents and caregivers and influential people around you said about money when you were young, okay? We tend to hear things like money doesn't grow on trees, we can't afford that, rich people are greedy, all kinds of really super helpful things to hear about money that are really just a automated response that our parents and caregivers had. Probably in relation to the fact that we just kept asking for things because that's how we are. So this is not what I'm talking about today. All right. So stay with me. If you're like, OMG, she's going to talk about this. I've heard this before. You have not heard what we're going to talk about today. Okay. This is a whole new approach. So here's how today came to be. I was writing the emails as part of those of you who have already signed up for the VIP All Access Workshop. If you have not yet signed up for the VIP or you've signed up for the workshop but haven't done the VIP upgrade, highly recommend that you do so because holy moly, if you think that I'm going to bring it inside the workshop, you better bet your peach that I'm going to bring it big time inside the VIP. You're going to get some exclusive access to me that you don't get in any other way, as well as something that I'm calling your Money Magic Spell Book. So the spell book, tiny little preview, is going to have you diving into this particular part of your life, okay? Now, I want to just read what I have on screen for you because it's going to keep me a little more on track and keep you a little bit more with me, all right? So, what's wrong with you? If I had $1 for every time my parents said this to me when I was young, I could have retired before ever starting a career. The implication was clear. The problem was me. It didn't matter what had gone on in the moments before the phrase was directed at me. If she had written the song 30 years ago, I'd have had T Swift chorusing in my head, "Hello, it's me. I'm the problem. It's me." Now, like I said earlier, if you've done any money work at all, you've been asked about the things your parents or caregivers said about money when you were growing up. We already talked about, money doesn't grow on trees. Rich people are greedy. We can't afford that. Stop asking for what you want. All of those unserving things we've heard about money. But what about the stuff you and only you heard that didn't have anything to do with money? What was repeated to you when you were upset? What messaging became normal for you to hear? I heard constantly, "What's wrong with you?" I heard it when I was upset. I heard it when I was sad. Heard it when I was struggling. When one of my siblings had started a fight or done something that I couldn't understand and I got angry, I would hear it then. I even heard it when I just didn't want to smile. If I wasn't willing to toe the line and be like, "Everything's great, everything's awesome," I would hear, "Amy, what's wrong with you?" Now, if you've been with me on the podcast for a while, you'll know that I've been in the personal growth world for a long ass time. And it was many years after this experience, of course, as a child, that I actually got into the personal growth world. And inside the personal growth work, I learned how to hold space and kindness for myself as I dug into my hurts and my wounds and the struggles so that I could uncover the limiting beliefs they were anchoring. This is actually the thing that happens inside personal growth. I think it's so misunderstood in so many ways. We want to lean in with kindness and love and with the spirit of holding space for ourselves as we are digging into the hurt, into the wounds, into the stuff that was hard for us. Because what's inside those are a whole crap ton of limiting beliefs that are anchored with these deep emotional experiences. Hey, so real quick question for you. Are you on the Insights email list already? And if you are not, what are you waiting for? Folks on my Insights email list get the best of the best from me. They get super secret deals, they get insights and freebies and all kinds of cool stuff delivered straight to their inbox. So if you are not yet on the list, get yourself on there right now. Click the link in the show notes and let's get you signed up so I can help you continue to keep expanding. Because, babe, OMG, the world wants more of you. So let's get you going. So I was doing the work. Every year, I improved some element of my life. Every year, I became more calm, more centered, more joyful, even as the world around me seemed to be turning into one big, giant fucking dumpster fire. I mean, I just can't help but look in the world today like, what is happening right now, right? But despite all of that, despite constant just reiterations from people around me that, the world is hard and that it's unkind and that money is scarce and that things are just not going well, even in the face of all that, I have found myself continually back to feeling calm, feeling centered, feeling joyful. Even as my bank account balance keeps getting smaller and my credit card balances keep getting bigger and my financial resources seem to eke down to something so tiny I might need a microscope to see them, I still can find myself into calm. I still know how to redirect worry. I still know how to put myself in the way of my dreams. Okay? This is really, really important for you to understand. I am not coming to you inside the Money Magic Workshop, not coming to you with insights and learnings and awareness that is coming from this, like, everything is amazing and like life is great and I have bazillions of dollars and like stop worrying about it's going to be fine. I'm coming to you from a very real lived experience. It's like, holy effing short balls. How am I going to pay the car repair bill that I have next week? How am I going to, pay for my phone bill next month? Like, what does this look like? And still not engaging in worry, not engaging, let me say that differently, not engaging in a detrimental sort of worry. If you're inside breakup with broke, you know what I'm talking about. But actually leveraging what worry is and staying in a place of like calm, staying in a place of clarity so that I can continue to create. Because I got to tell you, hun, like, if you are stressed, if you are struggling, if you are like spiraling away in worry and you're looking at your bank account, you're looking at your bills, you're looking at all the things and you're like, holy fuck, holy fuck, holy fuck, how am I ever going to get this? You cannot create from that place. All right. So anyway, I digress because that's not the topic of what we're talking about today. So even through all of that, and I'm going to show you, I'm going to give you a very special invite inside the workshop that will show you how we can completely change the game. Okay. We're going to like dismantle the old patterns. We're going to upcycle the stuff that has been, that is hardwired into you, but has been programmed with unhelpful programming. We're going to change all of that. I'm going to show you how to do all of that. Okay. But what I want you to understand is that even though I was in the personal growth work, even though I had improved, just about every element of life I could think of, even though I could and continue to remain calm and remain grounded, even as like everything seems to be really kind of all over the place, there was something sneaky that was happening underneath all of it. I was constantly on the lookout for what's wrong, constantly trying to fix something. Now, I think we've talked about this in the podcast a little bit before, and this isn't uncommon in the personal growth world. In fact, the constant healing cycle has been called out by multiple leaders across a whole myriad of focuses. But my question for you is, what if you learned from a very early age that when something appeared to be wrong by someone else's metric, that wrong thing must be you? What happens then? Now we're going to dive deep into this inside the Money Magic Workshop, okay? And for those of you who are already in my VIP All Access upgrade or who are going to be in my VIP All Access upgrade, your Money Magic spell book is going to help you uncover this and uncover the spell that you've been living under and rewrite it so that we can actually cast the spell for what you want to have in your life. All right, we're going like full wizard, full witch, full magical vibes inside this workshop. I'm going to actually give you some really, really powerful questions and exercises to begin to understand not just, what are the messages that you've been told when it comes to money, but what are the messages that you've been told about like just you existing in the world, right? Did you have strong messaging in your life that was like, oh my gosh, like you're upset. What's wrong with you? Or, things don't go your way and you don't know how to handle it. And it's like you need to just like get over it. I only one time ever in my life, I'm so grateful that this was not something that my parents ever said. It was such a like profound moment that it's like the memory is crystal friggin' clear in my memory. But it was one of our neighbors. So when my mom went into labor with my baby brother, who's not a baby anymore, obviously, because we're adults now. But when she went into labor with my brother, who was a baby at the time, obviously, our neighbor came over to take care of us. It's the middle of the night. It was March, and it was like a snowstorm outside, and like I didn't understand what was going on. I think I was 8 at the time. And so I'm in tears. I'm really upset, and my mom's leaving, and my dad's leaving, and I don't understand what's going on. And I remember this neighbor just looked at me and said, "You stop crying right now. And if you don't stop crying, I'm going to give you something to cry about." And I was just in such stunned shock. I was like, what the? Like, nobody had ever said that to me. And thankfully, nobody's ever said it to me since, other than in like a joking manner. But holy moly, that might be something that you heard when you were young, right? Maybe that was on repeat. Is there something that you heard over and over and over from your parents that perhaps your siblings did not? And what is the long-term impact of that thing on your life? We're going to dig into that inside the Money Magic workshop, because it's more than just when we want to create this delightful flow of money in our life. Let's stop making it sound so flowery. If we just want to have dollars in our life that we can pay our damn bills, like maybe go on vacation once in a while and perhaps one day retire, right? Then it's not just looking at the money beliefs and the money stories that our parents have told us. If that was all it was, well, then like would have already been seeing the change in your life. So it's not that that isn't part of it. It's just that that isn't the only thing around it. And what I have been seeing, and I've done the work. I've been studying money for 20 some odd years. It's kind of crazy to me. I just had this like weird out of body moment where I'm like, in like 10 years, I'm going to be like, I've been studying money for 30 years. Oh, holy moly. Okay, let's not preemptively age ourselves. Let's come back to the moment where it's only been 20 some years, which is already long enough to have studied anything, right? I'm just going to say that right now. I digress. I have done tons of research, tons of work, I've signed up for programs and podcasts and courses and coaches and like more things than I can possibly even list right now, all trying to understand money better and trying to understand how to call more money into my life. And I am here to tell you that the things that have been coming through in the last 6 months are like nothing that has ever been taught to me before, nothing that anybody has ever spoken of before, nothing that I have seen anybody else teaching about in the world. And holy moly, do we need to talk about it, because there are some really big things that we are not talking about in the world that are impacting our ability to create money in a way that feels like magic, that feels delicious, that feels delightful, that feels juicy, that feels like, fuck, if we want to be like straight about it, that feels like you're finally earning at the level that you have been knowing all along you should be earning at. And if you are not there yet, well, let's start getting you on the path, right? Because I got to tell you, I am really over so many of us good-hearted women, people who want to do good in the world, people who are just have these like big desires of impact and positive influence, not having the financial resources, not only to have the impact on the world that we want, right? Like if I think about my vision of impact, Amanda Frances says it such a beautiful way that like, now I'm going to forget exactly how she said it, but basically that like a big vision requires big resources in order to get there. And when I think about my vision for the impact that I have, that's just been like, oh my God, it's just been calling me, pulling me forward for years. It's why I'm literally doing the work that I'm doing right now. It's why I'm here on this podcast with you. That vision is huge, and it requires financial resources in order to bring that vision to light. But even beside all of that, okay, because I know that some of us need to hold the bigger picture in mind in order to motivate us into like moving forward. How do I say this? Hang on, please hold. The train just ran off of my brain track. Is this the perimenopause thing? Some of us need the outside perspective, the draw from impacting others in order to motivate us to do the thing to create the change. Okay. So lots of parents, mothers in particular, will have their children as a driving reason to improve, to release weight, to have a better job, to have better balance, to be healthy, whatever. It multiplies into, if you end up being a grandparent, there's lots of grandparents that are like, I want to be healthier so that I can spend more time with my grandchildren, right? My love. So often we talk about wanting to manifest more money, wanting to create more income in our lives. And something that has been flowing through for me lately is that we've been focusing on the wrong element. It is not that we want to just manifest more money in our lives, but that we actually need to disconnect ourselves from the identity of a person who is under-earning. This is something that is becoming very, very clear to me, and I'm seeing some really strong patterns in my own life and in the lives of people around us. And it's so integral to us building the life of our dreams that I've decided to run a free workshop on how to break the cycle of under-earning and begin to move into the identity of a person, financial goals that we have, and to feel good about it. If this sounds at all interesting to you, then I want you to join me. It's going to be completely free. It's going to be happening in July. And jump in with me for this free workshop because, listen, babe, we need to put more dollars into your bank account so that you can really move and circulate money and abundance in the world in a way that feels wonderful and juicy to you. And step one to doing that is disconnecting from someone who is under-earning. So join me in the workshop. The URL is in the show notes. I am so excited to help you break that cycle. So some of us need the external motivation. And the external motivation that we're talking about could be that you have a big vision, you want to have big impact, you need financial resources to have that. And so that vision is drawing you into doing the inner work, the work that doesn't feel super awesome. And like, if you're being very realsies, we'd rather not have to do. But like, I'd also rather not do bicep curls and have beautiful biceps. And that just doesn't happen, right? Like I got to do a curl or two to get that beautiful little like pop of muscle when I'm, I don't know, scratching my ear. Anyway, some of us need the external. However, I want to be so friggin' clear to you, all right? So like lean in close, turn up the volume of the podcast. Turn off all your other notifications. Tell anybody else around you talking right now to shut up for a second, okay? This part is really important. I want you to hear this. You also get to have financial resources to take care of your own damn self, all right? You don't need to have this desire to do big things in the world or to support your kids or to support the whole friggin' neighborhood or to like make your country a better place in order to do the work that will allow money to flow in at the level that you want it to be, at the level that you know you should be earning, at the level that has been calling you forward the whole friggin' time. And you're like, OMG, like, would you just go away from me right now because I know that I'm not earning what I want? And like, right? It doesn't have to be about anybody other than you. You are an incredibly valuable person. Just like your mere existence on this planet is nothing short of a miracle. I realize that with more than 8 billion people on the planet, it might not feel like a miracle. But like, what if, I don't know if this is true or not, but like, what if, let's just for fun, do a little thought experiment. What if there was like bazillions of souls that want to be on Earth and like only 8 billion of us actually get to be here, right? Like that's then a pretty friggin' cool miracle that out of bazillions of souls, yours gets to be here on Earth at this time. All right. So I want you to just really play with that, lay with that, be with that, breathe it in. That like you get to have the money that you desire, like just for you. Your bills get to be taken care of just for you. You get to have money in your bank account that's just growing in your bank account just because you friggin' want it to. You get to have a savings account just because you want to have a savings account, not because it needs to have a job or you're saving for some specific thing, just because you're like, wouldn't it be cool if I had like $10,000 in a savings account just to be there? Like that sounds like a great idea. You don't need to make it about something bigger than you. It can be helpful at times for us to make our personal growth work and our healing journey about something bigger, but it absolutely doesn't have to be about something bigger. I promise you, listen, if there's a, I feel like I'm very full of promises today. I promise you that even if you engage in the work, if you sign up for the workshop, you do the whole thing, you do the VIP access, you do the workbook, you do the spell book, you do all the things, and you do it from a purely self-motivated place, I promise you, the world is going to get better as a result. Not even with you having the intention of making the world better, but just because as you are creating increase and allowing more joy and moving into a state of being that allows money and resources to flow in more magnetically and magically into your life, it's just going to. That's just how it works. It is going to make the world better. You don't have to hold that as your vision. It doesn't have to be your motivation. If it is, cool. And if it isn't, also cool. Okay? So this is like, in case you needed it, you don't, but in case you needed it, this is your full permission to just like be fully self-focused and come into the workshop and be like, this is about me. It's my time. And I don't care about everybody else. And I'm just going to make my life better because it's going to make everything around you better just by the nature of how energy works. So that's all I want to say about for today, mostly because I'm starving and I need to eat something before I go for my ladies run tonight. I'm going to take a complete digression here, okay, as we end the episode, because I was just thinking about it. So about a year ago, if you've been here at all for the last few episodes, you know that I've shared a few times that the last couple of years have been a real struggle for me. It's really important that we have people around us that like love us and care about us. And at one point I was saying to a friend of mine, I was talking about like, wouldn't it be great if I had someone to talk to other than like the squirrel in the backyard? And like the squirrel is cute and everything, but like they can't talk back to me, or if they can, I can't understand them. And this friend encouraged me to, go to a yoga class, find a group, do something that would get me in the presence of other human beings. She was like, I get that the squirrel is cute and all, and sure, it's like hanging out in your backyard, but like, Amy, you need more interaction than just you and the squirrel. Now, it took a while before I had the internal energy to actually go do that. But it started by researching running groups. I love to run. I primarily run by myself. I really have been resistant to joining a running group for a very long time because I don't like having to like keep up with somebody's pace. I was like, I don't want to fucking try to have a conversation while I'm running, like, and then like if I'm running with a group, I can't have my headphones on. And anyway, it was a whole thing. But I was looking at everything and I'm like, okay, I don't want to be allocating financial resources into anything right now, which means that any kind of a class is out, right? So I can't go to a yoga class or anything like that because those all cost money. Nothing wrong with that, but I wasn't wanting to allocate financial resources toward it. So I was like, okay, well, what doesn't cost me anything to do and is also potentially going to put me in the company of a group of people who have some similar values to me? And I was like, well, I guess a running group would do it. I don't really love it, but like, let's check it out. I did a bunch of research. I found a few running groups, could not get myself out the door to do it. That's when I realized, or like, this is a very all over the place section of the podcast. You're welcome. Um, I started to find the right doctor. I went on this whole like experience of figuring out what's wrong. I've been on some medication for the last few months. I got to tell you, it's changing my life. I'm really so fucking grateful for it. And as a result of that, it gave me back the energy to actually put myself in the way of other people, to put myself in the sphere of other human beings. And so I went back to the research of like which running group would I like to try out. And anything that's like 6 or 7 a.m., I'm like, no fucking way. I'm not putting on my sneakers that early in the morning because like that's like when the run starts, right? You still got to like get up and get to the run before then. It's not happening. So, okay, all the early morning running groups, not my jam. Weekend ones were also out because in the wintertime, which is when I first started like getting ready to go, it's still ski season. Weekends are for skiing. And the other thing that I really wanted was ideally a group of all women. Could I find a running group that was all women? I found this running group. For those of you in and around Calgary, it's called She Runs YYC. And I highly recommend you come check us out. We run on Tuesdays and I think they run on Saturdays. I don't know if they run every Saturday. I haven't run with them on a weekend as of yet. But we meet at the University of Calgary. We meet on Tuesdays at 6:00 and it just, oh my God. It's done so many wonderful, beneficial things for me. For one, it's actually made me a better runner because first of all, the girls they're 20 years younger than me, which is saying something. I'm like, oh my God, I don't ever feel old, but I'm just like, okay, these girls got some like, youth on their side. That's helpful here. But it also gives me exposure to a group of women that I wouldn't have any reason to cross paths with otherwise, right? The majority of the friends that exist in my life are all older than me because my husband is older than me, and most of the people that I've met are as a result of my relationship with him. So I tend to be the young one in the group. Being with this group of women has been really fun. And also because they're younger, because they run faster, and because they're all chatty as hell, which I love. And also I'm like, oh my God, don't ask me any questions. I don't know how to breathe and run at the same time while I'm talking. It has really helped improve my overall like cardio and speed and ability to be present in the moment. So this is like I said, a complete digression from what I talked about at the beginning of this episode, but I would encourage you to find your way into some kind of a group that puts you in the mix with people that you may not normally connect with, and just see what the joy that opens up for you. Today's a great example. So today is running day. I'm going to be heading out shortly. Like I said, I need to eat something before I go. And they do this thing where they have like a partnership where they partner with like I think the restaurant's called Oakberry. Anyway, I think they do like bowls, like food bowls. I've never been. You have to sign up for that run. It's free to go, but they have a limit to how many people can go run. Well, I was thinking I'll just like join the group and just run with them, and then they can all go do their like food business afterwards, and I'll go home and have dinner with my husband. And then last week, as our run was done, there was a big group of us. Some people were already registered for the Oakberry run that was today, but a whole bunch of us were not. And some people were on the wait list, hoping to get a spot. But as we were standing there, we're all done our run. We'd really enjoyed it. The group is coming together quite nicely in a social way. And I just said, I'm like, well, what if we just, like, couldn't we just run anyway? And the conversation opened up to say, well, we can't join the Oakberry run for reasons that aren't worth getting into in the podcast. But like, what if we just did a run here at the same time as we normally do on Tuesday? And there's a whole bunch of us that were like, yes, please. So these are the things that I love when we just put ourselves out into the world, when we're willing to try something new, be in a different space, really cool things open up. So yeah, I guess we're going to leave it there. So just a little encouragement, woman to woman, and or if you're a dude, woman to man. Woman to, yeah, there should be a better way to say that, but anyway, whatever. Soul to soul, go get yourself in a space around some other people. All right. I really would love to see you inside the Money Magic Workshop. URL is in the show notes to sign up. Come join me. We're going to completely blow your mind in the best possible way and create some major unlocks for you so you can finally unlock the earning that you desire. All right? See you in there. Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode, my love. If you loved what you heard today, I'd be so grateful if you left a review and shared it with someone ready for more. For additional love and inspiration, find me on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at XOAmyDiamond, or visit the links in the show notes. I'm already excited to connect in the next episode, and I'm cooking up something really juicy for you. Until then, I'm sending you all my love, and I'm reminding you, you're already awesome. It's time to let your brilliance shine.